Hey Motorheads, it's your boy MP coming to you live and direct from the Hell Mega headquarters out here in beautiful San Francisco, California. What we have on the menu tonight is the 2009 and also talking about the 2010 Volkswagen GTI, and I want to hit on some hot topics with the car. The first thing I want to get into the car is what you're going to get with the performance aspect of the car at that kind of aggressive price point. Now, a lot of people in today's market are super hot on the Audi A3, and for good reason. And I want to talk about why the GTI from a performance standpoint, might actually be a better purchase. Now, the GTI is going to have the same exact 4-cylinder, 200 horsepower, 207 foot-pound torque that the A3 offers. It also offers the same DSG 6-speed transmission and the same 6-speed gearbox that the A3 offers. So if you get that DSG transmission, you're also going to get the paddle shifting, which is a really nice feature to have. It really changes the game up. And how the DSG really works, since it's a 2-clutch system, you're able to put the car in drive, sport mode, and Tiptronic to access those paddle shifters. Now, the reason why this is important is because every stick driver's dream is to have an automatic in traffic, and I think that the DSG could be a really good compromise. Even though I am a stick driver myself, if you're looking at the GTI, you have to at least consider the DSG just because it is going to be the future of technology, and it is definitely, for torque distribution, definitely is a better drive. You're also going to get, in terms of performance, a little better center of gravity with the car than you will with the A3. And it's going to clock a faster 0 to 60 because it has less body weight. So for me, I think that if you're considering the two in the hot hatch class, for the $10,000 difference in price, you have to at least consider the GTI because, well, from a performance standpoint, it's actually going to do a little bit better than the A3 is going to do. In terms of styling, that's where I want to actually touch on the 2010. The motor is going to carry over from 09 to 2010. The current design of the GTI, it comes in a 2- and 4-door, and while the car really gets me a little bit going, it doesn't really make me want to shift all the gears. The 2010 is going to change from the Mark V, which is the current bike style, into the Mark VI. Now, while the 6th generation GTI, like I said, is going to have the same motor, the styling of the car is going to change. The line down the side of the car becomes a little bit more aggressive. And the headlights, which is really important to me, goes from this big in-your-face headlight that the GTI currently has, which is very, I think personally, very Japanese in terms of car design, in terms a little more angled and squat of a headlight, which gives it a lot more German feel. And that's important for me as a German car enthusiast. And I think if you're a German car enthusiast, you're going to be really hot on this too. The taillights go through a minor adjustment, and the biggest thing for me if you wait for 2010 is, if you sit in a 2009 right now, it kind of feels like a space bubble on the inside. There's so much over-the-top headroom. Even myself, I sit at about 6'2". It's just way too much. You kind of feel lost in the car, and it loses that sense of intimacy that the A3 would offer. So when they drop the headline of the car and wrap everything around with the new lines, it definitely gives you more of a German coupe feel that you'd want and expect out of a 33-year-old car like the GTI that's been around since 1976. So those are all real big hot buttons for me. And finally, what I want to talk about in the GTI is the overall quality of build in the car. Now, there's going to be a lot of hot hatches at this price point, in that 25 up to 35 price point. And so it has to make sense for you. Now, we already discussed performance, we discussed the styling. Now, when we talk about the build quality, you have to understand that the GTI is going to be built with nothing but the finest materials, and that's the Volkswagen mantra. So you're going to have laser welding technology, advanced airbags, you can have a wheel option upgrade for the 18-inch wheels, 17-inch comes standard. You do get bi-xenon adaptive headlights. You do get all the best raw material they use in the car. I personally think, actually, the leather seats that they use in the GTI are better than the leather seats that they use in the Audi A3. And these are parent-child companies. So that's a really great hot button for me. I'm really into the seats on the GTI. When you get the Autobahn package, you feel immersed in the seat. It wraps you around, it engulfs you. And from a sports driving perspective, that's exactly what you need. When you're sitting in the cockpit, you want to feel tight, you want to feel cozy. And I think that's what makes the GTI such a special car at that $25K price point. And I think that if you are able to get out on the road or get out there for a test drive, you're going to be really hot on that too. So I'm going to link up a ton of information on the bottom, and I'm also going to talk to you about some other cars that might get you going at that 25 to 30K price point. All right? Thank you so much, and keep on driving.